Aloha, everyone. This is the first meeting of the Committee on Hawaiian Affairs of the 33rd Legislature. And thanks for coming in today. We have some issues before us, and before we get started, I want to introduce myself, and as the senators trickle in, I'll have them introduce themselves as well. And here we start trickling in. My name is Tim Richards. I represent District 4 on the Big Island, which is basically the northern half of the Big Island, going from North Hilo through Hamakua, north-south Kohala, and down into North Kona. Senator.
Aloha mai kako, Samantha D. Cord. I represent the District of 22. Majority is the Waianae Coast, which we house the largest Native Hawaiian homestead population in the state. Very happy to be here. Mahalo for being here, especially those that drove from the west side. Aloha.
Aloha, everyone. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping first. This meeting is being streamed live on YouTube. In the unlikely event that we'll have to abruptly end this hearing due to technical difficulties, the committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business at 1:01 p.m. on the 4th of February, Tuesday, in this room. And a public notice will be posted on the legislature's website. Testifiers, please be aware that we have a 2-minute time limit to ensure that everybody has enough time to submit their testimony and have their voices heard. If there are any temporary technical glitches during the time we're testifying via Zoom, we may have to move on and have the next person, but we'll be sure that people have their time to have their testimony heard. We appreciate your understanding and remind you that the committee has your written testimony. So in the abundance of caution, if you want, so we don't run out of time, if you want to stand on your testimony, we would appreciate that. If you're interested in reviewing the written testimony, please go to the legislature's website. There you will find a link to the status page for the measures, and you'll be able to view that testimony. We have Senator San Buenaventura here. Please introduce yourself.
Senator Joy San Buenaventura, Vice Chair of Hawaiian Affairs.
Thank you, Senator. So with that, we are set to get going. First, we'll start off with Senate Bill 109. Testifiers, we have Ms. Lindsay, Deputy Attorney General of the AG, on Zoom. Oh, in person.
In person today.
Aloha Chair Richards, members of the committee. My name is Hokule Lindsay. I'm a Deputy Attorney General. I'm here on behalf of the Department of the Attorney General, and we offer comments on the bill. While we appreciate the intent of this bill, Section 101-13 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes currently provides that the English version of the law is binding whenever there is any radical, irreconcilable difference between English and Hawaiian version of any laws of the state. By broadly amending this section of the Hawaii Revised Statutes to allow the Hawaiian version of the law to supersede the English version may lead to ambiguities in application and interpretation of the laws. To help mitigate these possible uncertainties, we recommend amending the proviso at page 3, lines 2 through 5 of the bill to define the bill's application to laws originally drafted in Hawaiian that have not been later amended, codified, recodified, or reenacted in English. If you have any questions.
I appreciate that. We'll get through the testifying and then we'll call up for questions. Next, I have Pua Aiu from DLNR.
Aloha Chair Richards, members. The department will stand on its testimony in support.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, I have Johanna Choktam from Olelo Hawaiian Program.
Aloha, Chair Richards, Chair San Buenaventura. Aloha. I am Johanna Choktam from the Judiciary. On behalf of the Judiciary, we support this bill wholeheartedly. which reinforces Olelo Hawaii's status as an official language, and shows that the laws drafted in Olelo Hawaii can stand along those that are written in English. So, and I'm available for questioning after. Mahalo.
Thank you. I have Mr. Conklin in opposition, Michael Older in support, Victor Ramos in opposition, Uilani Naipo in support, Kawaio Hawaii Anakalea in support. Oh, they are here. Are they here? Please come up. Sorry.
Aloha.
Aloha.
My name is Kawaio Hawaii, and I was born and raised in Hawai'i. I just moved back from the mainland, and I'm so excited to be here to represent these important matters. So I'm here just to make sure that this bill goes through.
Okay. Thank you. We have Rani Inagaki in support. I have Kapua Keli'ikoa Kamai on Zoom. Do we have someone on Zoom? IT?
Not present on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, if they come in, please let me know. And we have Pini Aloha Ke'alahan in support and Dana Keawe in support. Is there anybody else in the room that would like to testify? Please come up. Identify yourself. Yeah, sit down and talk, sorry. Please identify yourself for the record, and you have 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. My name is Cameron Horson, Senators. I am a Hawaiian national, I guess. I've been here since 2008. But essentially, I hope that they also mention that with the translation, well, one thing is like when I went to Hawaii Pacific University, the language, Hawaiian language is noted as a foreign language. So I think that's very telling of how Hawaiian culture and language, Olelo Hawaii, is treated here. It needs to be the state language or the language of Hawaii. This is, like I've been saying, the Hawaiian Kingdom. And so one little detail I just want to say is that Olelo Hawaii is not a foreign language and has different meanings, connotations, interpretations, and pronunciations in English. Has Okina, and Kahakos, and it's not the same as English, and needs to be honored because that's how it was first made, this language. So it can lose its connotation, context, and purity in translation to the English language. Just for example, real quick, because like the Navajo language, there's any sort of intonation in the voice even can make a different meaning, and there's some words in English there aren't in Navajo, And same with Hawaiian, like there's certain English words that are not represented in the Hawaiian language, that are represented in the Hawaiian language. So I just wanted to make that point.
Okay, thank
And I
you.
approve this bill. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else? Okay, committee, any questions? Okay, moving on. Senate Bill 199. Testifying for OHA. Do we have someone?
Aloha, good afternoon. I'm Lena Alalea. I'm the Director of Advocacy with the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. We'll stand on our testimony, support with comments, but I'm here to answer questions you might have.
Okay, thank you. And again, we'll hold questions to the end of the testifying. Next, we have a opposition from Kenneth Conklin. Oh, okay. Now, Kawai, come back up because you're here in person. I pronounce your name differently because, as you well know, regional pronunciations are a little bit differently, but I'll respect your pronunciation. I'm from Kohala. We say Kauai. So
Aloha, Kawaiʻo Hawai'i, Ana Kalea. I'm here in support of this bill. This is for burial grounds, right? This is the bill for
No, this is Cultural Center.
Culture Center. Yes, I'm here to stand on my testimony in support of this bill.
Okay, thank you. Moving on. Rani Inagaki in support. We have Cindy Freitas on Zoom, IT. Yeah, there we go. You have 2 minutes.
He mele komo, a he mele aloha, na nā kupuna I ka au I hala, aloha mai kako.
Aloha.
I support this bill and I stand on my testimony. Mahalo.
Thank you, mahalo. Moving on, we have Dana Kiabi in support. We have Shelby Pikachu Billionaire in support. And we have Terry Sabalinea in support. Is there anybody else in the room?
All right, aloha mai kaukou.
Aloha.
Dimana kalai mana ole. Co-manager of Hope Manapuna LLC, Advocacy Corporation out of Waianae Coast. Glad to see you, Chair, Vice Chair, and members. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Favela over there. Just getting into to this for introducing this bill. You know, in Hawaii, at this trip, we get Japanese cultural center, we get Chinese cultural center, we get Korean cultural center, we get cultural center for everybody else, but in a home state, our island nation, we're #1 Hawaiian Cultural Center. So I think this is a good thing, about time that we get this, and I'm glad that there's a lot of support for it because we need that. We need our own place to be able to allow our culture to flourish. So thank you so much for allowing me. I'm sorry that my testimony came in late, but I just came through on stroke, so we're good to go. Aloha.
Aloha. Is there anybody else in the room who wants to testify?
Aloha mai kaukou, Senators.
Aloha.
Uina la, or what lunchtime is, yeah. Okay, I just want to say that
Identify yourself, please.
I'm Kimmer. Nahonu. My clan is Turtle Clan. So anyway, so the cultural centers, I think is a great idea because the luau's and that sort of thing are like pretty accurate, they're nice and they're fun and they're entertaining. But I think what also should be included in these cultural centers is the true history of Hawaii, what really happened in the perspective of the Kanaka Mo'oli, not interpreted by some American, right? So I think that's really important. Who's telling the story? Yeah? I think it's a great idea. I approve of this, and mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to hit the pause for a second here. We've had 2 new senators step in. Please, Senator Keokolole, introduce yourself to the committee as this is the first meeting.
Thank you, Chair. Jarrett Keohokalole. I represent the 24th Senate District, which is Kailua and Kaneohe on the windward side of Oahu. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Keokolole. And then we have a visiting senator, Senator Favela, asked to sit in, so please, Senator.
Senator Favela, District 20, Ever Beach.
Thanks for being here. Okay, moving on. Bill SB 268. Excuse me. Yeah. 268. On burial councils. We have OHA advocacy in person.
Aloha, Senators, Lena Alale. I'll stand on the testimony and take questions at the end. Mahalo.
Thank you. Jessica Puff in person.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members. I'm Jessica Puff, the administrator for SHPD, and we stand on our testimony in support. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. I have Kanekawai Ola Lindsay. In support, Ken Conklin, opposition, Hardy Spear in support, Linda Helani Sonoda Pale in support, in person.
Aloha Chair Richards, Vice Chair Ventura, and members of the committee. I'm testifying on behalf of Pu'uhonua Owailupe. We are a organization whose mission is to protect iwi kupuna from desecration and uphold Native Hawaiian values. Senate Bill 268 is very, very, I think, timely and important, especially in light of what happened recently with Naue, the burials there, and the recent arrest of Kia'i, and more recently, other events have transpired. But it is important to lower the number of the Island Burial Council members, especially because quorum seems to be an issue with the Island Burial Councils. Kauai Island Burial Council didn't meet for 2 years, and so it was part of the reason why the issues escalated around iwi kupuna. There was no forum for people to come forward to and have a discussion, and there was no way forward for cultural descendants to be approved, because it's the burial councils that approve them. So it is an issue. It's also an issue with the Molokai Burial Council. Multiple islands have this issue, so I think this is really timely, and we're in full support. Thank you.
Thank you. Quite a lot of testimony and support, and I will be reading all the names, but I want to get the people that are here in person to testify. Next in person, I have Kimmer Horson.
Aloha mekako. You guys know who I am now. Okay. So essentially, iwi is property according to Hawaiian Kingdom law. Digging up a grave was hard labor, 2 years, and back in I think it was 1800s or 1700s, like 100, equal to $1,000 in fees, yeah, penalty fees, right? And I noticed that I'm just gonna be real. So the Mohawks, yeah, the Mohawks in New York State, they have the same problem. They have their ancestors buried on their territory, yeah. And the Canadian government wanted to build the golf course on their ancestors' bones, and they were just gonna dig it up and take it over, right? So they took up arms, right? We went against the military, the Canadian. They even brought out the army, and they defended themselves, right? They barricaded the freeways and railways and stopped traffic, and it stopped the whole economy of that area, yeah, that region. These are sort of the consequences of not, honoring indigenous burial rights. I just see it. It's so just happened in Kauai, right, with the ohana that had bones over there, iwi over there. They're all arrested, and I just don't understand that. Because they have a right to defend themselves, and this is not United States. This is a kingdom. This is a country. You know what I mean? It is a war crime, and it's a serious issue. If are we gonna do this to say punch bowl? It's not very respectful, right? It's disrespectful. It's horrible. It should never happen. I don't understand why Hawaiians get treated so bad here. It's horrible. But anyway, yeah, that's it.
Thank you for your testimony.
I'm not done.
We have a 2-minute limit, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm not done.
We have a 2-minute limit on our testimony.
That wasn't 2 minutes.
So thank you. Yes, it
All right.
was.
So I wasn't
Please
done.
step down.
I wasn't done.
Please step down.
I wasn't done.
Please step down. Be respectful of the other people in the room. Please
Digging
step
up
down. Please step down.
Oh, yes. So the Kawai'i Church, there were 600.
We're in recess.
600.
We are back in session. Thank you. Apologize for the disruption. I will ask that we do not have any more disruptions. We must be respectful of the committee and what we are trying to accomplish in this committee. Everybody's entitled to their statement and opinion, and we will listen. So moving on, I have Kabayo Hawai'i Karan.
My name is Kavayo Hawaii Anakalea. On January 23rd, 2025, OHA has approved my nomination for the Island Burial Committee for Oahu. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping to hear back from the governor soon. And so I'm here in support of this bill. I don't believe that any iwi kupuna should be moved. I think that it should be something that is respected. And I stand on my testimony.
Thank you very much. On Zoom, we have Kapua Kili'ikoa Kamai.
Not present on Zoom, Chair.
Thank you. Cindy Freitas on Zoom.
Mahalo again. I am in support of this bill. SB 268. However, I must comment on this, the history and disrespect and colonization. All due respect to the developers, landowners, etc. Throughout Hawaii history, particularly during colonization and the growth of tourism and development, burial sites were frequently desecrated. Construction projects unearthed remains, often without proper protocols or consultations with Native Hawaiian community. Various sites were displaced or destroyed to make way for resorts, golf course, and other development. These actions compound historical trauma to the Native Hawaiian community. I am battling right now in Kona with private landholders I called Shifty, Dofa, BLNR, County. None of them came out. And I saw iwi kupuna. My heart went break. My heart braked. So this bill is a good bill to control this development, in all due respect to them, but they need to stop doing what they're doing. Mahalo. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony. We have Alfred Medeiros on Zoom.
Not present on Zoom, Chair.
Thank you. Kyo Mailani Hanapi Hirata on Zoom.
Aloha aina kako. My name is Kilmailani Hanapi Hirata. I'm here to testify on behalf of the island of Molokai. Every island, like every person, we carry our own mana and we carry our own kuleana. I'm only here to speak from Molokai, and we are in opposition of SB 268. Molokai is estimated at 172,000 acres. That includes Kalaupapa. It's 38 miles long and 10 miles wide with 88 miles of coastline. OHA has never come to Molokai to speak with any of our past or present Molokai Island Burial Council members or even our kia'i who awamo des kuleana to malama the iwi of our ancestors, or to even hear our needs, what we struggle with, what we do. They have never come here to advocate for us. And so we are a little bit confused on why this bill has been submitted without having any testimony, any community support. Molokai Island Burial Council did participate in the burial sites working group report, but Molokai was the only island that never signed off on that report because we were never given the draft form of that report to present at our burial council meetings so our island's community could participate in that. we had to ask the Office of Hawaiian Affairs to send us the draft. And then we had to ask for a follow-up if it was ever finalized. So we were never given anything. Like, we were never asked any questions. Our main concerns are the same concerns echoed on every single island. We have the capacity to fill our seats. The problem stems from the process, from the boards and commissions when you apply, to the state historic preservation and all of those issues. So again, I'm only here to testify for Moloka'i. And Moloka'i will always stand to protect and support all of the other
Thank
islands.
you for your testimony.
So, mahalo.
Thank you. Please stay for questions if we have them. Okay, thank you. That's all I have in person right now. And I will read the list. As I mentioned before, we have 65 in support. And continuing on, I have John Constant, Callahan in support. All these are in support. Jeremy Burns, Kale Kanaholo, Diana Keabi, I think I have a misspelling, Jimmy Linoy, Bassett Assam, Talise Scanlon, Michael McVeigh, Sue Wong, Kehao Lucas, Kylie Borges, Elizabeth K. Poor, Keiko Gonzalez, Martha Evans, Davian Kino, Ulani Naipo, Sean White, Simone Kamaunu, B.A. McClintock, Tadia Rice, Scott Amona, Mackenzie Plunkett, Jordan Hester Moore, Wayne Tanaka, Sonia Davis, William Kapaku Jr., Haoli Ipo Wright, Lena Park, Leilani Spencer, Gabrielle Igarta, Rochelle Kim, Malia Marquez, Dave Lynn Briones, Kiara Smith, Cheryl Bellamy, Christy Lamb, Ronnie Inagaki, Nanea Lo, Hilihia Inaba, Don Heger Nordblom, Renee Kehau Schofield, Ulani Kapu, Bobby Kamara, Carol Lee Kamekona, Pua Chin, Keke Manera, Ella Aki, Jennifer Mather, Wendy Waipa, Mili Ho, Gerald Montano, Heaven Kupahu, Sunny Kupahu, Manuel Kupahu, Lehua Hanaike, Alexander McNichol. Is there anybody else in the room that wants to testify? Come on.
Aloha mai kaku.
Aloha.
Timan kalai manole, ko manager ho manapono, Native Hawaiian Advocacy Corporation on the Waianae Coast. And I just want to make a comment. And that, you know these bills that come across for dealing with iwi kupuna. I would just like to see that these laws is strengthened, because every year we see all the time when developers get involved and all that, they just trample all over iwi kupuna, and there's always an excuse from the government that allows them to continue to do that. And there is no real enforcement. You know, even from the Bureau of Counsel, that's why I want to participate in all that, because it's all more like pomp and circumstance. So I'd just like to ask you guys, especially those who are consider themselves great Americans in this country, would you allow our people to go to Arlington National Cemetery and just go ahead and just start trampling and building up over there? I mean, America seems to think that Arlington is the most sacred place on the entire planet. And I don't think Americans would appreciate us going over there and building Harley over there. So if you feel that way, if you love America and you don't want that to be desecrated, then why not allow here in our own homeland our iwi kupuna to be thoroughly protected by the same protection that you guys protect Arlington National Cemetery? And that's all I get to say. Thank you. Aloha.
Aloha. Okay, committee, any questions? Seeing none, moving on. Senate Bill 269, budget of OHA. First of all, we have testifying OHA. Oh, Ms. Stacy.
Aloha Chair, Vice Chair, Senators. I stand on, Kalamai, Stacy for Kapuahana, Office of Hawaiian Affairs. I stand on our testimony, and I'm here for questions.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take the in-person. Okay. Kimner Horson, I will take you if you give me your word that you will respect the 2 minute.
I'm always respected, sir. This isn't.
Okay, you will have.
Sorry, I'm sorry you can't accept that.
You will have
It's
2
not my
minutes.
All right. I approve this bill. I think any reparations the United States can make to the Hawaiian people is a great idea. But I think there needs to be more than just money. But I approve this bill and I stand on my testimony. Mahalo.
Thank you. Kavaio Hawai'i. Did I say it right this time? Stand on your testimony. Thank you. Cindy Freitas on Zoom.
Mahalo, Cindy Freitas. I stand on my testimony for Bill SB 269. I'm in support of this. Mahalo.
Thank you for your testimony. And then I have Kapua Kili'ikoa Kamai on Zoom.
Not present on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, thank you. We have 44 in support, and I'll read through these. Patty Kahana Moku Teruya.
I stand in support to my testimony.
Okay, thank you. You're here in person. Thank you. Ken Conklin in opposition. Kane Kavailoa Lindsay in support. If you are here, please speak out. Hardy Spear in support. And the rest of these are in support. Jimmy Linoy Bassett Assam. Michael McVeigh, Joanne Constant, Callahan, Luann Mahiki Lankford Favorito, Sue Wong, Elizabeth Poyer, Kylie Borges, Keiko Gonzalez, Uilani Naipo, Simone Kamanu, Christopher Marr, Scott Amona, Wayne Tanaka, Sonia Davis, Kavaio Hakawaiki Ana Kalea, Don Stevens, Lena Park, Gabrielle Igarta, Davelyn Briones, Tiara Smith, Cheryl Bellamy, Christy Lamb, Casey Taber, Don Heger Nordblom, Ronnie Inagaki, Renee Kehau Schofield, Jacelyn Auna, Ella Aki, Wendy Waipa, Tracy Spencer, Millie Ho, Gerald Dariao Montano, Heaven Kupahu, Sunny Kupahu, Manuel Kupahu, Shell Pahinui, Alexander McNichol, and Kapua Kali'ikoa Kamai. All in support. Is there anybody else? Please.
Aloha Chair, aloha Vice Chair and members. My name is Jermaine Myers. I'm a Native Hawaiian from Manukuli. I'm the lessee of Manukuli. I'm in support of this bill. OHA is for the betterment of Native Hawaiians. OHA provides every year $3 million to DHHL. The more that we can support OHA, even with their imperfections, but they also have perfections, they're mandated by Sunshine Law, But anytime we can build up OHA and we can, as beneficiaries, go to OHA using sunshine law to advocate for the needs of our community on each of the islands, by you funding them, we can support our initiatives. So they've been in existence for many years and going through a lot of learning curves. But also the Lahui has been going through a lot of learning curves as well. And so now we can speak louder and stronger for the needs that we have. So in addition to that, we need source of funding. So thank you for God bless all of you.
Thank you for your testimony. Okay, committee, any questions for anyone? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to 624. Relating to Prince Kuhio. Okay, DHHL in person. Deputy.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Katie Lambert, on behalf of the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, will stand in support of our will stand on our written testimony in support of this bill. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, in person, we have Patty Kahanamoku Teruya. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You said it very eloquently.
Oh, thank you.
Aloha, Chair Richards, members of the Hawaiian Affairs Committee. My name is Patty Kahanamoku Teruya, Elisi of Hawaiian Homelands, Nanakuli. Just wanted to add, Prince Jonah Kuhio is a significant figure of the Hawaiian history, known for his work promoting the rights and welfare for Hawaiians. We support strongly to display portraits of Prince Kuhio on Pacific Hawaiian homelands, buildings, public buildings, considering engaging with community stakeholders, reaching out to local community leaders, culture organizations, and the individuals in the Hawaiian homelands wish to be involved. Also to consider is developing educational materials that can accompany the portrait, which can assist informing the public about his life, his contributions, and the significance of Hawaiian culture. For example, along the Waianae Coast, I wanted to highlight there are 3 public schools, charter schools, Nanakuli Village Mall, Kamehameha Learning Centers, Special Olympics Kapolei, Waianae Coast Comprehensive, several city and county parks, along with churches, Hawaiian homelands, under a general lease community use with a very low rental compensation to the trust. All of these buildings, schools, hospitals, malls, parks should be included in SB 624. In closing, the Waianae Coast Community Foundation will continue to bring awareness of Prince Kuhio by celebrating the yearly Prince Kuhio Festival held at Kalanaʻanaʻoli Beach Park Field, named after our Honorable Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalanaʻanaʻoli. This is our 6th annual, and we welcome all of you to enjoy the festivities planned for March 22nd in the beautiful Nanakuli Moku. Mahalo for the opportunity, and I urge you to support portraits that can promote cultural pride and awareness in communities island-wide. Mahalo nui loa.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Next, I have Kawai o Hawaii Iki. O Hawaii Iki.
Aloha, my name is Kawai Ohawaiki, and I'm here in support of this bill. I wanted to just read some research that I wanted to share and why this is important. Prince Jonah Kuhio Kalanianaole was a true Renaissance man, an athlete, politician, and advocate for Native Hawaiian rights. Born on March 26, 1871 in Kauai, he was named after his grandfathers, Jonah Pi'ikoi and Kuhio Kalanianaole. After his parents' death, he was adopted by King David Kalakaua, Queen Kapiolani, through the traditional Hawaiian practice of hanai. Kuhio's early life was marked by excellence in sports, including football, wrestling, boxing, and surfing. He even introduced surfing to California and Great Britain. However, his life took a dramatic turn when he joined the rebellion against the provisional government of Hawaii in 1895. He was arrested, sentenced to a year in prison, and later pardoned. Kuhio's political career spanned nearly 2 decades, during which he served as a delegate for the U.S. Congress from 1902 until his death in 1922. He was a strong advocate for Native Hawaiian rights, women's suffrage, and Hawaii statehood. Some of his notable achievements include Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. He introduced this bill in 1920, which aimed to provide land for Native Hawaiians to live and farm. Statehood bill. Kuhio introduced the first bill for Hawaii statehood in 1919, which eventually became a reality 40 years later. Women's suffrage, he supported the 19th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, granting women the right to vote. Today, Prince Kuhio Kalanianaole is remembered as a champion of Native Hawaiian rights and a symbol of Hawaiian resilience. His legacy lives on through the many institutions, landmarks, holidays named in his honor, including Prince Kuhio Day on March 26th. I'm here in support of this bill.
Excellent timing. Thank you. Okay, in support, that's all I have in person. Okay, come on up. Identify yourself, please, for the record.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Jermaine Myers. I'm in support of Senate Bill 624. I think it's really important that in Hawaii, we acknowledge Olelo Hawaii, but we acknowledge also our Hawaiian leaders, and it's our historical Hawaiian leaders, which is Prince Kuhio. I was sad when we changed Honolulu, which is a Hawaiian word, a Hawaiian destination, when we changed the airport name from Honolulu International Airport to another important figure to Hawaii, Daniel K. Noe. But again, Honolulu was most important to me. In regards to Hawaiian homelands, Prince Kuhio is important to us. And so it's important for us to acknowledge his existence. Many of us have devices. We always take pictures of our beloved, so we like to look at them on our phone. We should have in high traffic areas near the public transit, but also in Hawaiian homelands for the keiki to see that these are the people that we esteem, or this is the person that we esteem in Hawaii because of his historical significance to our lineage and to Hawaiian homelands and what he has provided for Native Hawaiians in Hawaii and their successors. Each state in the U.S. esteem their leaders, and Mount Rushmore in South Dakota is a mountain with faces of U.S. presidents. We should acknowledge our Prince Kuhio not just with a holiday, but also with portraits and later on with statues in significant public spaces and buildings. Kia kopu, God bless all of you.
Thank you. Next, come on up.
Aloha, Senators. Lena Olale, on behalf of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, we would also like to testify in strong support of this measure as appropriate to honor Prince Kuhio for his contributions to advance Native Hawaiian well-being, as so eloquently expressed by the previous testifiers, and also in public places where it can educate visitors and others who don't know about the contributions he's made to our lahui. Mahalo.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Anybody else?
I just wanted to add that
Identify yourself, please.
I am a yes. I agree with everything they have said. I agree with the bill.
Identify yourself for the record, please.
I am a 10-year combat veteran, sir. I served this country, the United States. Okay.
Thank you for your service. Please identify yourself for the record.
I did already. I don't know why I have to do it again.
Each of the bills will be cut up
My
individually.
name is Kimmer Horson, big
you.
horse, not Honu, all right? And you can stop interrupting me now. All right,
We will have
he
decorum
was,
in the room,
Prince
please.
Kuhio introduced originally the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, 25% blood quantum. But he joined a rebellion against the Republican Party and lost. He took up arms and he lost. So the racist Republican Party hired the blood quantum to 50%. right? So the more haole you are, the worse it is, right, for Kanaka. So I want him to be recognized because that was his intent, and that's why he should be honored. Mahalo.
Thank you for your testimony. Is there anybody else? 4624, we had 5 in support, not including the oral testimony we've heard. Hawaiian Homes, misspelling, Jennifer Kamaha'o Mather. Kabai, oh no, she spoke. Rani Inagaki and Kapua Kili'ikoa Kamai were all in support. Excuse me, Inagaki was in opposition. Okay, any questions from the committee?
Yes, thank you. Ms. Lambert, for Hawaiian Homelands, my question is, why do we need a bill? Why don't you folks just put up a portrait?
We have portraits in all of our district offices and including our headquarters. We also have a separate space, separate from our biggest building called Hale Pono'i, and that does have the portrait of the prince who has notoriously fallen down on some chairs. So the beneficiaries can tell you stories. So we do have portraits, many of them, of the prince around our buildings. So we just support the intent, though, of course, of everybody else who's spoken about, our beloved prince and what he did for us, especially for our particular program. So, yeah.
So my other question is this, like in federal buildings, the presidents have official portraits. Do we have an official portrait of Prince Kuhio so that because I know sometimes if we just tell people to put up a portrait, there may be, it may be considered sacrilegious, or it may be an artist rendering that the family may not want. So if we're gonna pass this bill, is there gonna be like an official portrait that hopefully the Hawaiian community will not disagree is disrespectful?
I'd have to get back to you on that. So there are many portraits and also photographs.
Yeah.
But I don't know if if there's any one in particular that's designated as the official portrait of the prince. There might be several. I don't know. I'd have to get back to you on that.
One last thing, sorry, because you're here. So Ms. Teruya testified, and I like that idea, which is if we pass this, maybe we make it, maybe you folks make it like a cultural event, to solicit input. And that way everyone will have stories, Prince Kuhio stories, like the prior one of him taking arms against the rebellion against, okay? That's my input, that's my request. And because I really do, if we do pass this, that we do have an official portrait, but maybe one with a lot of input, because we don't want it to be disrespectful, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Boyce.
Sure, can I?
Senator Favela, sure.
This came from the community, and thank you, Chair, for hearing the bill. It's an emotional one for our people. The reason why I had brought up the transit center, it's a black eye for a lot of the communities of how much it's costing. We put all these kind of little designs on the poles and everything like that, but this is the one that's going to be transportation for tourists. They need to know the Aopo'a, they need to know the area, like Patty was saying, they need to know this because it's a significance for people whose student is being oppressed and how much he came forward in doing what we need. So that's the reason why I specialize in this, and I heard other people saying other places, which not a problem, but that was the reason on the specifying on the buildings and places where people are traveling heavily can see who and what and how far we came or how far we didn't come, to let them know. Because again, the previous speaker said, we didn't have as a people ever had an input in changing significant Hawaiian names two other names, and I don't take nothing away from Senator Inouye, which is a great man. But I also agree, if he was alive, anybody here like raise their hand, if he was alive today, you think he would agree to name things like that after him? Of course not. But the names that is being changed in anybody else's honor, but not honoring the people of Hawaii, is a disservice. So that's all I'm saying, and thank you, Chair, again. Thank you, everybody who
Senator.
testified.
Any other questions for the deputy since we have her up? Hearing none. Okay. Moving on, Senate Bill 625. Have up AG's office, Okulea Lindsay.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Chair Richards, members of the committee, Hokulei Lindsay on behalf of the Department of the Attorney General. The Attorney General provides comments on this measure and respectfully asks that the committee hold this measure. This bill may be subject to challenge that it violates Article 5, Section 6 of the Hawaii Constitution by requiring members of the Hawaiian Homes Commission and the Director of the Hawaiian Homelands to be elected. The HHL is a principal department of the state. The Constitution provides that the governor shall nominate and with the advice and consent of the Senate, appoint heads of principal departments of the state. This bill would strip the governor of that authority. We respectfully request that the committee hold this measure. Available for questions.
Thank you. State Office of Elections, Scott Nagao. Okay, do not see. He has comments. Kali Watson, so I'm assuming you're here, so, yeah. Come on up. Sorry, Deputy.
Misunderstood. Aloha, Katie Lambert, on behalf of Department of Hawaiian Homelands, will stand on our written testimony, offering comments, available for questions when everyone else is
Okay,
been called.
thank you so much. Here we have Kawai o Hawai'i Iki Anakalea. Say that for me, please. Anakalea.
I am Kawai o Hawai'i Anakalea.
Anakalea, okay.
And we're talking about Bill 625.
Correct.
I've been on the list for Hawaiian Homelands for the past 20 years. I'm not sure really what's going on. I don't feel that there is much connection with the department as far as communicating what I could do. I want my land. I feel like I've been waiting long enough. I'm not sure why the governor has to appoint people in these positions to make the decisions. It should be Kanaka making decision on when we get our land, where our land is going to be. And we're just tired of feeling like we're being treated like second-class citizens in our own land. And it's hurtful. So I'm here in support of this bill that more of the power should be shifted to the Hawaiian people in these matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Eddie Kahanamoku Taruya.
Aloha again, Chair Richards, members. I wasn't really going to testify, but thank you for the introducer who put this through. I think this bill, I had to read it a couple of times to really understand it, and it's asking the an election for the commission, the 9 commission for the HHL. I will support something like that, but then my next question will be, if you have an election for the 9 commissioners, then will they now get paid? Will they now be able to get compensated because they're going through a whole election? How does the election process go through as far as campaigning and things like that? Currently, the governor appoints the commission to their seats of different islands. And that seems to be, and I'll be very open, it seems to be such a political appointment that for years the department, it struggles to move forward. as far as policies, as far as serving our beneficiaries, as far as discussions and things that way. We have 9 commissioners that represent different islands, and I think their terms are kind of too short. It could be extended because you have commissioners that are very institutionalized and very helpful to the department and staff. So reading this bill, I think it also changes the Hawaiian Homestead Act. I think it has to go to the congressional level for approval, but it is something to consider. I know this came to this Hawaiian committee yearly. I think it comes practically, Senator Fafella, comes all the time, and I'm not sure what to do with this, what you guys would do with this, but it is something for discussion because it has valid concerns to the appointments of commission and their duties and their fiduciary duties. And so as a former commissioner, I can vouch to that. It's not easy. It's a volunteer position, but it's a position that you love to serve your beneficiaries and your communities. So thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you. I have Demont Kalai Manaola.
Aloha mai kako, Demont Kalai Manaole, co-manager Ho Manapuna LLC, a Native Hawaiian Advocacy Corporation operating on Waianae Coast. And this is the bill that I came over here for. I would just like to state, just emphatically, this bill would be DOA. It's dead on arrival. In 2000, the United States Supreme Court issued a ruling in Rice versus Cayetano that specifically stated Hawaii's denial of right to vote in Oahu trustee elections violates the 15th Amendment. So, I mean, what are we doing here? I personally don't believe in a governor appointing commissioners to the commission. I believe the commissioners should be elected by us. Trust beneficiaries. Trust beneficiaries. Not everybody in the state of Hawaii, but trust beneficiaries. Why? Because that is our trust. It belongs to us. Now, if the governor like appoint the director of Department of Hawaiian Homelands, hey, right on. But something should belong to us. And we're going to run this course all over again, and then it's going to go up before being in a lawsuit, and it's going to get shut down because you cannot deprive people in the state of Hawaii being able to vote under the 15th Amendment. So unless the 15th Amendment is changed, and unless Congress changes the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act itself, I don't think this bill going to fly. You know, so with all due respect, there's all kinds of problems with this bill, and I don't know why we're wasting our time. I think that we should have I don't know how the process is going to be made, but trust beneficiaries is the one that should be selecting the commissioners. That's all I believe in. And how they get there, maybe better minds might be able to figure that out. Aloha.
Aloha, thank you. Is there any other want to come on up? You can identify for your record, please.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Jermaine Myers. I respectfully oppose this bill for the same reasons that others have opposed the bill as well. But I just want to lift up the spirit and intention of this bill, which is for us, the people, and what Demont just stated, the trust beneficiaries to be the ones to elect our commissioners. Because same like here in the Senate, we elect you, but we don't come here and elect the president of the Senate. You, the body, elect the president and the vice president of the Senate. Same thing on the House side. So I stand with the spirit of this bill, which is saying we, the people that are being affected by this body, the Hawaiian Homes Commission, we should elect them. And then from there, they should then elect the chair of the board of the commission. Then, so in the spirit of that, I support Senate Bill 1532, which I hope that Chair can bring up on the agenda for us to speak about, because it is aligned with the Commission Act in that currently the governor appoints. The only thing that this Senate Bill 1532 is that it switches the majority so that the spirit of our voice and the strength can lie in the beneficiaries. Currently, the way the Commission Act is written is that for the minority is gotta be lessees or beneficiaries. They have to live on the land. And 5 don't have to live on the land. Well, 5 that don't want things to move forward for the benefit of those that live on the land, then they have the majority. So by switching it over to 5 with someone like Patty Kahanamokuturuya, who was our previous commissioner, Commissioner Awol, Commissioner Nevis, Commissioner Helm, they are all residents of or lessees of Hawaiian Homes. And so they gotta come home to us and explain to us how they went vote, how they took action, how they took inaction. It's very much stronger.
Thank you. We have a
with that. Oh, my 2 minutes are up.
Yes.
I'm sorry, didn't
No,
realize.
no, that's all right. Thank you.
God bless all of you.
Okay, hold on. Thank you. Anybody else? Come on up.
I'm in favor of this bill.
Please identify it for the record because it gets.
Kimmer Horson.
Thank you.
Aloha. The trust beneficiaries of Turtle Island, I think it just needs to go all back to what Prince Jonah Kahio, the original author of this act, his intent was, 25% blood quantum. I don't know how that's gonna get implied, that's up to the Kanaka Maoli. I know that OHA is, the vote is like she said, put towards a sort of a democratic vote of all people here in Hawaii, occupants, right? But it has to get resolved. The United States, I don't know why they're meddling in Hawaiian affairs. So it's just really messed up, so. But some decisions have to be made, and I think the original crown land was the Great Mahele. So if you guys go off that document, you'll be pretty accurate. So that's just a suggestion, but I do favor this bill. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Okay, last call on this bill. Anybody else? Okay, hearing none.
Chair. Can I call, Patty Kahanamokuturuya?
Yep. For briefly, allow a little latitude here, Senator.
Yes, I'd like something corrected that wasn't corrected in the bill. And I know, so you would support it if it was just our Hawaiian people, trust people that's on the Hawaiian homestead land to be able to vote for the commissioners. Yeah.
I think the beneficiaries should have the opportunity.
This bill, when it was sent back to me, was the only reason why, to get it heard. And I'm gonna work with them again next year, Chair, because that was my intent. But LRB discussed it with me, and I'll have a talk with them. The intention of this bill was for Kanaka Maoli, who's on homestead land, to vote, not everybody like OHA. And as I read through the bill, I understand that, and that's why I wanted to comment. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm bringing it up now, but everybody that said that right now is correct. It was never intended for everybody on the island to vote for Hawaiian homestead commissioners and the director. So I'll work on this again, Senator Richards and committee.
Maybe you could include waitlisters too, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to thank Senator Fafella for your initiative and on the several bills that you introduced to help Native Hawaiians. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other questions from the committee?
I have a question for the Attorney General's office. So it wasn't mentioned in your testimony, but it was mentioned, well, basically everything that Demont and Jermaine said, I agree with. Pretty much exactly the way they said it. And it was brought up in the same way in the Department of Hawaiian Homeland's testimony, but not in yours, which is basically that the precedent that was set by the Rice versus Cayetano case says that if we limit the type of person who could run for a commissioner seat, like how they used to do at OHA, just to Native Hawaiian beneficiaries, that a non-Hawaiian could sue and it would likely be overturned in court, and then open up the application for whoever wanted to run for a commissioner seat to any state resident, right? So you agree with that?
I think, well, Rice versus Cayetano says essentially that, right? But I
And
think,
then in Arakaki versus Lingo, which was the case afterward, they basically took that ruling and they said, well, that also means that non-Hawaiians can vote for, or actually it was the opposite way, right? It was the opposite. In Rice versus Cayetano, they said non-Hawaiians can vote for OHA.
right,
And then in Arakaki, they said, well, if non-Hawaiians can run for OHA too,
right. So I
because
think-
both of those restrictions violate the 15th Amendment.
Right, so I think, probably the best way for us to really get into the issue of who would be able to vote and the ramifications of that, and who would be able to run and the ramifications of that, would be for us to get that question and provide you folks with an analysis.
Okay, so, and I respect that, but at the table, you're not inclined to disagree with the testimony that the Department of Hawaiian Homeland submitted, which is that those two cases present problems with this? Okay. Even though I agree with the premise of the bill, yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Any other questions from the committee? All right, thank you. Going to recess, discuss decision-making. We're in recess. We're back in session for two quick testimonies. Please sit down. Identify yourself, please, for the record.
Aloha, my name is Fisi Ipeao Marie Kawahine Aukai Okamawana Germando.
And this is
baby Kane Germando.
right on.
So I just wanted to share, like I hear these things you guys talking about,
We have
the
2
department,
minutes.
yes?
Okay.
About the Department of Hawaiian Homelands.
correct.
My husband just died in September of 2024, and we was on the list for years. And we've had to run around left and right. So even if we wanted to, we wasn't able to be any kind of voter or no situation like that. But what I'm gonna say today is that I am a child of the Most High. I operate on the truth and the Treaty of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we're Kamehameha descendants, from me, Tutu, to baby. And what stands today is the truth, which is the Hawaiian Kingdom, which still exists. And all of you guys, OHA and all, is operating under a stolen non-treaty with the Hawaiian Nation. So that's where I stand with that. So any other things that you guys are saying about this and that, about voting and laws and stuff like that, don't even matter to us, because we operate on the truth. And the Most High is the one that's gonna bring justice. And if, he's merciful. So if anything, he's over here, long-suffering, waiting for you guys to make right what was wrong. And if not, then he will take it into his own hands, because his mercy can only last so long. After that, he's gonna serve justice. And it's gonna be individual to every person. Okay, talk about free will. You guys all have free will. You, me, everyone. Free will to do what is right and pono. And that's where we are today. And I just give that to you, and I say blessings, y'all, blessings to us all. Because that's what we need, is God's love. And that's how it should be operating everything, is God's love. Mahalo nui.
Thank you.
Come on, baby.
Angela?
Aloha, Angela Melody Young from Roy Cares. And so I'm not Hawaiian, I'm 100% pure Chinese. Like I mentioned in the House of Representatives. when we were going over the restoration of the Hawaiian lands legislation. And I love the Hawaiian people, and of course, we'd all like our children to grow up in a clean environment with respect to the mountains and the ocean systems and the Hawaiian way of life. So this legislation seeks to amend the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, which I believe, if I'm not wrong, is a federal act legislated in 1920 in Washington from Congress, right? So I think it would be more appropriate to amend the Constitution, which in the state of Hawaii created the fourth executive branch of government, OHA, Office of Hawaiian Affairs. So if it violates the Constitution, it is limited by the statutory provisions of the Hawaii's Constitution, then does it require an amendment to the Hawaii's Constitution, which will set the standards for the eligibility of the qualifications of the members? Because if the Constitution has the authority to create the fourth executive branch, then wouldn't it also have the authority to designate the eligibility of the members of this commission? So the Department of Hawaiian Homelands has distributed lots of land to beneficiaries, but there are still a lot of people on the wait list. And following the Maui wildfire recovery event, advocates and Hawaiian Homes beneficiaries have urged lawmakers to amend the Hawaiian Homes Commission and the qualifications for eligibility for the members of the commission. So that's all I have to say. I support the Hawaiian community. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. And we do have one, Cindy Freitas on Zoom, IT. Go ahead, Ms. Freitas, you have 2 minutes.
Emele komo, ahemele aloha, nana kupuna, ika au'i hala, aloha mai kako. My name is Cindy Freitas. I am a descendant of the Native Hawaiian inhabitant prior to 1778, born and raised in Hawaii, and also a cultural practitioner. I oppose Bill SB 625. There will be a political gridlock and instability on this issue. Not only that, uncertainties and delays in congressional approval, federal oversight, any changes to the structure of the Hawaiian Homes Commission and the DHHL requires congressional approval. This adds an extra layer of uncertainty to the process. Congressional approval can be delayed or blocked, creating a situation where the proposed reform cannot be implemented until federal policymakers agree to them. Risk of federal interference. Even if Congress approves the changes, there could still be issues with the federal government role in overseeing the program, potentially limiting the ability to the election official to enact the changes they believe are necessary. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you so much for your testimony. Okay, we have a hard deadline right here. And I think there was one more testifier.
No.
Seeing none.
Okay.
Okay, we have 2 minutes. We have a hard deadline. We're going to get some decisions. So if you want to come up, identify yourself, you have 2 minutes.
No.
No? Yeah, you can come. Identify yourself. You have 2 minutes because I got a hard deadline in 10 minutes on this room.
Hello, my name is Kelvin Hulehe. I'm a Konehiki for the Kingdom of Hawaii. And the Kamehamehas, the Kamoalis, and all the descendants that is in line with this chain of Hawaiian nation. And we have to follow rule of laws, chain of command. And our command was King Kamehameha, and they passed it down to his heirs. And it's really simple to understand the structure of this government, which you're trying to put in place that was in place. And somehow it got taken away. So we're trying to bring them back. And with the help of you guys, we can have it back. The rightful, truthful government of the people for the Hawaiians and whoever is welcome. So I'm not smart or anything, but I hear common sense, ordinary sense, and I believe in him. That's my main walk, why I'm here today. And that's my main reason why I live in today, because of him. And I hope you guys realize that too, that because of him, we're all here today, what we're doing. And I look what you guys doing. I feel very ashamed. You guys not all on one page. Really, you guys not all on one page. Try to think about it, please, and be accountable. And have respect for him and for our Hawaiian people. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. Okay, we're going to go in recess and move into decision making. We are back in session for decision making on Senate Bill 109. Chair recommends that we pass with amendments and accept the Attorney General's edits specifically on page 3, lines 2 through 5. Do I need to read those out?
No.
Good enough, okay. So with the amendments and some tech amendments on Senate Bill 109, chair votes aye.
Passing SB 109 with amendments, chair votes aye, vice chair votes aye. Senator Ihara is excused. Senator Kehokalole.
Aye.
Senator Descartes.
Aye.
Chair recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to Senate Bill 199. It's a recommendation of the chair to pass with amendments proposed by OHA, specifically that we will be building one cultural center on Oahu by 2040. Some tech recommendations. Passing 199 with amendments, chair votes aye.
Passing SB 199 with amendments. Are there any reservations?
Reservations.
Reservations, Senator Kehokalole, and with the excuse of.
Excuse me, Vice Chair. Also to defect the date. That was the other amendment on 199.
Okay, as amended twice, we're voting on SB 199.
Correct.
With amendments and a defect date, with the excuse.
To July 1, 2050.
To July 1, 2050. Passing with amendments on SB 199 with a defect date of July 1, 2050, with Senator Ihara being excused. Are there any reservations? Senator Kehokalole?
Reservations, thank you.
Okay, Senator Keokolole's reservations. Are there any no's? Chair, the recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to Senate Bill 268. Recommendation of the chair to adopt with amendments, and there are some tech amendments. So on Senate Bill 268 with amendments, chair votes aye.
What about defect date? You're still good?
No.
No, okay, pass with amendments, effective date. Okay, with Senator Ihara being excused, SB 268, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Are there any reservations? Seeing none, are there any no? Seeing none, Chair recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Moving on, Senate Bill 269, budget of OHA. It is the recommendation of the chair to pass with amendments, effective date to July 31, 2050, and there's some technical amendments that need to be dealt with. Passing with amendments, chair votes aye.
SB 269, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Senator Ihara being excused. Are there any reservations? Seeing none, are there any no? Seeing none, Chair recommendation has been adopted.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to Senate Bill 624 concerning Prince Kuhio. It is the recommendation of the chair to pass with, as is with a few technical amendments.
That's with
excuse me.
amendments.
Pass with amendments with some technical amendments. And one other thing I'd like to do, I like the conversation about a portrait or a picture of Prince Kuhio, and I'm going to ask in the committee notes that DHHL looks and get an official portrait of the prince. So if we could work on that and have that coming forth, and I'd like to work with the community to have input from the community, because I think it's important that we all agree that what we need to have going forward. So I would ask that, Deputy. So with that, that'll be included into the committee notes on Senate Bill, number again.
624.
Which number was that?
624.
624, as, okay, only tech amendments on 624, chair votes aye.
Okay, passing SB 624 with amendments. Senator Ihara being excused. Are there any reservations? Seeing none, are there any no? Seeing none, chair recommendation has been adopted.
Okay, thank you. And finally, on Senate Bill 625, part of the reason of hearing this bill is to have the conversation that we had and highlighted the problems that we have. And so it is but that doesn't stop the conversation going forward. It highlights where we have issues that we need to look at. And so with that, it's a recommendation of the chair to defer indefinitely and continue the conversation. Hearing nothing else, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
You made it.